Anybody have any Halloween plans? I know some areas aren't allowing trick-or-treating or, unless you can figure out a social distance way, but this year, so normally for work, I dress up something crazy like, I think it was last year, I did Gamora from Guardians of the Galaxy. The year before that, I did Jayla from the Star Trek, the new Star Trek movies. Oh my gosh, sorry. I thought I was going to sneeze. Or maybe it was, I don't know. The last few years I've dressed up as different movie characters. One year I did Katniss, another year I did Jayla, another year, I think it was last year, I did Gamora. The year before that, I was out of commission because I was literally the day before had been in a grease fire and was healing from that. So it's not a real big thing in the Netherlands. That's cool. I mean, it's really not that big of a deal. I mean, it is a big deal here, but not for everybody. So growing up, when I was real little, we did some trick-or-treating, but then we moved out to the middle of nowhere, and we still celebrated, but it was more of a family thing. Like, we'd hang out, my parents would buy candy, and we'd sit around the fire and listen to, different horror stories on the radio. But, or watch, movies or whatever. But, yeah, some people here don't celebrate it at all. Some people hide out in their basements. Growing up, I actually had a friend from school whose family would literally, they would turn all their lights off, lock all their doors, which should be a normal thing anyway, and then they would go in the basement and just watch, movies all night. And they didn't celebrate Halloween, but they didn't want to be answering doors or trick-or-treating or anything. But then I had other friends that would go all out and go to parties and basically dress up in really nice cosplay for it. So, just depends. You never celebrated it yourself? It's literally, at least here in America, it's literally just like a night to gorge yourself on scary things and candy. I just like the season in general. But I've never been a huge celebrator of Halloween. Like I said, I would dress up for work, but I think we went trick-or-treating the year that I burned myself, that I was in the fire. I was okay to go trick-or-treating by Halloween. I was doped up, but we did go trick-or-treating, and that was fun, because we went with, he was my boyfriend at the time, but we went with my husband's niece and nephew. Well, they were still young enough to appreciate it, going with their parents. But yeah, that was the first time I'd been trick-or-treating since I was real little, so. And I didn't, it wasn't trick-or-treating for the adults, but they did in the neighborhood. They had, some of the neighbors had like adult cider and drinks and stuff for the parents that were walking around with their kids, and that was kind of fun. But yeah, my husband and I recently binged The Haunting of Bly Manor, which is the new horror series on Netflix from the people that made The Haunting of Hill House. And I think they used the same set and some of the same actors, and it was pretty cool. But that was kind of one of the ways we celebrating Halloween. Kinda, it's just the season, so we decided to watch that. And then I don't know what we're actually going to do for Halloween. I think isn't that the day or the day after that the new Mandalorian season comes out? So maybe we'll just be watching that. I don't know.